We have police officers, paramedics, judges, they're everywhere.
The thing that is troubling about this is after the guy, Walter Scott, is down, the police officer seems to come over, and it looks like...
Put your hands behind your back.
It looks like he's putting something, some have suggested planting evidence near the scene.
Well, what looks like, and there's some video on there where they really highlight it, it looks like he runs back to the initial scene of the altercation, picks up the taser, and then runs back and drops it next to the body. I mean, guys, when I was in the DA's office in the 80s and the 90s, that was like a standard operating procedure. A police officer would keep, I mean, I hate to say this, but it was, you know, you can read about it in books. They would keep a second gun that nobody knew about on their ankle. And so if they ever killed someone who they shouldn't have, they would then take that gun out and put the...
You're talking about dirty cops.
I'm talking about dirty cops in the 70s and 80s and corruption, and there was all kinds of, you know, trials having to do with that.
That was before the iPhone, and that would not be allowed. So let me just ask you this. The fact, does this matter? Or is this going to present a challenge if you're representing the cop? The fact that he never helps the guy. He cuffed him. He walked away. Another cop comes with gloves, is helping him, trying to revive him. He basically shows no effort.
Look, let's face it. There's going to be no sympathy for this police officer, except for the fact that it's a 33-year-old human being who's getting paid $40,000 to protect his own life and protect everyone else's life.
Who's already served the country as a Coast Guard.
Right, and the thing is, nobody thinks this cop woke up that morning and said, let me go kill somebody.
No.
These are split-second decisions that he made, and they were wrong decisions. Obviously, he made wrong decisions, and it's going to be about, in my opinion, this is totally my opinion, how much jail time does he serve? Does he get the death penalty? Does he get 25 years? Does he get 15? Does he get 10? But if you want to ask for Arthur Idala's educated opinion, he's going to go to jail. It's not for if, it's just for how long.
We always appreciate that opinion. Let me ask you one more thing. Anna Corman just updated us with the fact that there were prior offenses.
But he was exonerated. You know, I know we go...
Do they play a role?
No, not in our system of government. He's exonerated. It's like if someone is charged with a crime and then they're found not guilty, that is not on your record.
Can I explain one thing? He's not yelling at you. That's why.
I apologize.
This is the video defense attorneys say is smoking gun evidence that police planted crack cocaine in the car of Floyd Dent, a 57-year-old Inkster man who was tasered, kicked, and punched in the head 16 times by police after being pulled over for running a stop sign. In the video, the officer seen throwing the punches, William Melendez, is seen pulling something from his pocket that looks like a plastic baggie with something inside it. Melendez testified in court police found a baggie of crack cocaine under the passenger seat of Dent's car. Greg Roll is Floyd Dent's attorney.
We have on video this officer searching the car and testifying, oh, allegedly I found it under the passenger seat. Of course, my client's fingerprints will not be on that bag. We all know that. And all of a sudden you see RoboCop reaching into his pocket, and you can see him pull out a baggie. And then all of a sudden he's got a baggie of rocks. So where did that come from? Come on.
Officer Melendez was known by citizens in Detroit as RoboCop. He was fired by the Detroit Police Department for falsifying police reports. He was charged for planting evidence in 2003 in a federal court case. A jury found him not guilty. Local attorney Michael Ratai says he is friends with Officer Melendez and supports him.
He's just a good guy. He's a man's man. And I can't say enough good things about him. You know, I don't know the circumstances that he's currently facing, but I would be surprised if he did something that was inappropriate.
In a one-on-one interview, Dent tells me he doesn't do drugs, doesn't sell drugs. A test for drugs following the stop came up negative. Dent has no criminal record.
They treat me like I killed 100 people. Okay? And that's when I knew then this is some type of cover-up. Okay? They trying to cover up for what they did. When they looked at my car, they thought I was actually a drug dealer.
Police are not commenting on the video. Melendez was put on desk duty immediately, pending an internal investigation and a Michigan State Police.
Officer Michael Slager's shooting Walter Scott is shocking enough, but it is this moment, says Los Angeles defense attorney Darren Kavinoky, that is something he's never seen.
It looks like the officer is dropping an object. We see him drop the taser there, or what appears to be a taser. I've never had the kind of corroborating evidence that this particular piece of tape represents. But I've heard the complaints over and over and over again. It's a common experience.
Frequent claims by suspects alleging police planting evidence have been difficult to prove. In the late 1990s, more than 70 officers in the LAPD's Rampart Division were implicated in tampering with and planting evidence in thousands of cases. Officers were fired or prosecuted, but the public never saw the LAPD planting evidence. With more smartphones, more cameras in policing, there's more video capturing how police engage with the public. Earlier this year, dashcam video captures a police stop in suburban Detroit. Inkster police officer William Melendez approaches, gun drawn. 57-year-old Floyd Dent opens his car door and is dragged out. The police officer then repeatedly punches Dent in the head. In the police report, Melendez says he was only protecting himself. After seeing the video, the judge dismissed resisting arrest and assault charges against Dent. The video also captures Officer Melendez handling what appears to be a plastic bag. He says he retrieved it from underneath the passenger seat, but Dent's lawyer alleges the police planted drugs and charged Dent with possession of crack cocaine. Officer Melendez is now on paid administrative duties while the city and state investigate.
Does it happen? Yes, it happens. Does it happen often? No. It's very, very rare like something like that does occur.
Harry Houck is a retired NYPD detective. When he was an officer, he worked for the department's internal affairs. He says just like there are bad people, there are bad cops. What haunts Houck now? The fired officer's video appearance in court.
What really caught my eye was the stoic look on his face. I saw no emotion. Here was a man standing there who had just murdered a man as a police officer, standing there with no emotion at all. I thought that was very, very telling to me.
The guy was out cold. A witness says police had Philip White handcuffed on the ground in the middle of a Vineland street just before he ended up dying in custody this morning.
They punched him, stomped him, kicked him, and then they let the dog out of the car and the dog bit him.
Get him, come! Get him! Get him!
Yo, get that dog off of him.
Hold! Hold! Hold!
Roll over, Papa. Just roll over. Let him handcuff you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Get that dog off of there. Get that dog off of him.
Come on, man. You gotta beat up like that. Grab my gun. Dog's on right now. Roll over now. Hold. Roll over.
He's knocked out.
I got all of this. I got all of this.
Yo, he's knocked out.
This on camera.
He's knocked out. He's not even moving. He's not.
Help.
Get that dog off of him. Back off a little.
Roll over, put your head down now. Do it now. Help. Roll over. Roll over. Roll over. Roll over.
Roll him over. He can't move. He's out. He's knocked out.
That's when I also roll it. That's when I also roll it. Huh? That's the beat when you get that man. No, you try to grab my gun, sir. I think that all the time.
That's what you said.
I got it all on camera. I thought that. What did you do? That's crazy, man.
I feel so bad.
In his face and around his body.
A dog is heard on a police dispatch recording of the incident, which unfolded around 11 a.m.
118 West Grape, subject to hyperventilating, officers out.
There's no call for that. Once a man is handcuffed and unconscious, you should have stuck him in the patrol car, take him to the police station. Nah, instead they decide to beat him right here.
The Cumberland County prosecutor tells NBC 10 the suspect was being arrested at the time, but we don't yet know why. However, the audio recording appears to shed more light on what happened as White was being taken into custody.
All units down. Subject under. Can't apprehend. Try to disarm me.
How can a person that's on handcuffs take a gun from a police officer?
What happens after he shoots the gun?
More cops came rushing the house, and I'm laying there screaming, asking somebody to help my granddaughter, because he just shot her in the head. And he wouldn't even help her. They turned on the light and seen that she had been shot and carried out the house. Oh, man. Oh, my God. Oh, Jesus. Why you do it? Why you do it? Please tell me why you come in my house like that. Tell me why you came in my house like that. You killed my grandbaby. You killed her and you try to blame me. You know I never touched you, Mr. Weekly. You know I never touched you. You know you're wrong. You know you wrong. You wrong. You wrong. She was only 7 years old. She was only a baby, man. She was sleeping, and I told y'all, let me get my granddaughter. And y'all didn't even give me a chance. Why y'all do this to me? I get no sleep. I'm sick. I'm sick as hell. I get no sleep. The flashbacks, I wouldn't wish them on nobody in the world, not even you. I wouldn't wish this on no one in the world that have to watch their 7-year-old granddaughter get their brains blown. By the people that are supposed to protect and serve her. You the brain. I watched these shorts. What? You the brain. You the first one in. You the first one in. You the first one in.
There are still plenty of questions surrounding the death of 7-year-old Ayanna Jones. She was accidentally shot by a Detroit police officer. Fox 2's Roop Raj is live at police headquarters with more. Good morning, Roop.
Yeah, good morning to you, Cam. It certainly has been a tough 30 or so hours for the family of Ayanna Jones, the 7-year-old, as you say, who was killed at about 12:40 on Sunday. This happening in the 4000 block of Lilliebridge Street. Police coming in to serve a search warrant for a murder suspect, a 34-year-old man they think is responsible for the murder of a 17-year-old just days before. So they went into the house, guns blazing, having thrown in what's known as a flash grenade, basically something to disorient the people inside. That thrown through the window, lighting the place up, alarming everybody inside. They come in, of course, with their guns drawn. And this is what's unclear as to what happened next. The 7-year-old girl, Ayanna Jones, sleeping on the couch. The question is, the 46-year-old grandmother who was with that little girl, some type of a scuffle occurred between her and the police officers. Police saying not clear exactly what happened. Did she try grabbing the gun? Was there some kind of an altercation? How serious did it get? Somehow, though, in the end, a bullet went off, killing little Ayanna. Family members can't believe it, including her father, Charles.
They came in here and killed my baby, and they trying to make justification for that. Ain't no justification for that. What did she do? What did she have? Why did she have to die?
That was Charles Jones, the father of Ayanna, yesterday talking to Fox 2 at a vigil that was taking place alongside many advocates of who are against police brutality, a group that has been led by Ron Scott, helping hold that vigil yesterday. We should also tell you that the investigation continues today. Police Chief Warren Evans expected back to work. He was on vacation out of the country, but has since cut his trip short and is now heading back home to find out exactly what happened leading to the death of 7-year-old Ayanna Jones. Live in front of police headquarters, Roop Raj, Fox 2 News.
All morning we've been following breaking news from Detroit's east side. A 7-year-old girl was accidentally shot and killed by Detroit police.
Fox 2's Roop Raj has been on the scene with the family all morning.
We are coming to you from the 4000 block of Lilliebridge Street here on Detroit's east side. You can see the toys in the front yard of this home. This is where it all happened. The toys and actually the couch, the very couch that 7-year-old was killed on. We're talking about 7-year-old Ayanna Jones, an honor student, someone who loved her family, a loving girl, now gone. This happening about 12:30 in the morning. SWAT members coming into this home, apparently they say to serve a search warrant for a murder suspect. And when they came into the house, there was a lot of confusion, a flash bang thrown through the window. The grandmother of that little girl, Ayanna Jones, also startled. Apparently, somehow the gun, according to Detroit police, went off. They're calling it an accident. The 7-year-old shot in the neck, the bullet then coming through her head. The couch now sitting on the front porch. Family members asking how this could happen.
I'm always going to remember her through her mother and her brothers. It's just sad to see such a waste for no reason. They supposed to be trained for this type of stuff. They came in here and killed my baby. She was a good girl and everything. She didn't do nothing to no one. She was asleep. She don't even know what's going on. She didn't know what hit her. She don't even know.
Again, Detroit police calling this a terrible accident and one that they'll be speaking more about throughout the day. In fact, they are holding a news conference. Fox 2, of course, is there. We'll be there and bring you the very latest on this case. A 7-year-old Ayanna Jones shot and killed by Detroit police at 12:30 this morning. On Detroit's east side, Roop Raj, Fox 2.
John Crawford update. Key witness changes story. John Crawford III was shot by police while holding a toy BB gun in a Beaver Creek, Ohio Walmart. Ronald Ritchie made the 911 call and later identified himself as an ex-Marine when he told reporters his side of the story. But according to Michael Wright, an attorney for the Crawford family, unreleased surveillance footage from the Walmart discredits Ritchie's initial account of the incident. Let's compare stories, shall we? Here's what Ritchie first told reporters.
He was just waving at children, people, items. I'm thinking that he's either going to rob the place or he's there to shoot somebody else. He didn't really want to be looked at, and when people did look at him, he was pointing the gun at people.
Sounds pretty scary, right? The truth probably looked more like this. Many people saw Crawford with the gun, but Ritchie and his wife were the only ones who were scared. According to Wright, the unreleased footage shows Crawford standing in the pet aisle for 5 minutes prior to the arrival of police officers. That brings us to Ritchie's second lie about the incident.
Once the police got there, they told him, they came around the corner, said put it down. They said it 2 times, and then the gentleman decided to swing the rifle to the officer pointing at them. That's when the officer shot him twice.
Unreleased surveillance footage reportedly shows Crawford was shot on sight and never had a chance to put down the gun. Ritchie has since changed his story. At no point did he shoulder the rifle and point it at somebody, he told The Guardian a month after the incident. Oh yeah, and that bit about Ritchie being an ex-Marine isn't the whole truth either. He was booted from the Marine Corps after 7 weeks for fraudulent enlistment when he failed to inform them of his heart condition. Ohio's Attorney General Mike DeWine is denying Wright's request to release the video, so witness testimony isn't influenced by the footage.
Get the Tomo News mobile phone app, uncut and uncensored. Search for Tomo News in the Apple App Store or Google Play, or see the links in the description of this video.
Here's how I would approach that issue as a statistician or a political scientist, or no, as a psychologist, which I'm not, is how abstract you handle the race thing. In other words, you start out, and now y'all aren't quoting me on this. You start out in 1954 by saying nigger, nigger, nigger. By 1968, you can't say nigger. That hurts you, it backfires. So you say stuff like forced busing, states' rights, and all that stuff. And you're getting so abstract now, you're talking about cutting taxes, and all of these things you're talking about are totally economic things, and the byproduct of them is blacks get hurt worse than whites. And subconsciously, maybe that is part of it. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that if it is getting that abstract and that coded, that we're doing away with the racial problem one way or the other. You follow me? Because obviously sitting around saying we want to cut taxes, we want to cut this, and we want is much more abstract than even the busing thing, and a hell of a lot more abstract than nigger, you know. So any way you look at it, race is coming on the back burner.